Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you're doing well today. So, first of all, I want to show off my new curtain, okay? Because if you look at my other videos, the window, I didn't like the lighting with the window. So, I was like, I have to get a curtain. And it's like a blackout curtain, but the light peeps through the little stars. Okay? And then it comes already with like this white tool, and I tied it up. So cute. I'll actually put the link down in the description box so you can take a look. I got them on Amazon, and I think they're so cute, and they're soft. And they're so pretty. Like, look at the little edges. And there's different colors. So I want to show off my new curtains and kind of get into what I wanted to talk about today, which is creating your reality and manifesting. Okay, we have the power and the capability of manifesting everything we want. And actually, my curtains, it's like the perfect example. So I started recording my videos, and I noticed that I didn't like the lighting with the sunlight coming in. And I'm like, the background is so plain. So what did I do? I noticed this as an issue. Like, I noticed this as something that I wanted to change. Then I researched, I went on Amazon, and I took a while. I actually thought of the current idea before I started recording my videos. But I'm like, you know what? I just need to start. You just need to start that thing. Whether you have all the extras that you want initially just start the thing, because sometimes we put those roadblocks, right? Like, I need the curtains to start, I need the camera to start, I need X, Y, and Z to start, and you really don't. So I spent some time on Amazon, like a couple days, maybe like a week. I had to measure because I don't measure anything, and you have to measure curtains. So I measured, and then from there I like was looking, I look at reviews. I'm just kind of like a very particular person when ordering. I'm trying not to be, but this was like an excellent purchase. They came, I told my husband to install them, and I love them. And the funny thing is, I actually didn't record any videos even after he put them up. Like, I waited a couple days because of other things, but I I created that. I created the curtains to be here. I created the idea that I wanted curtains, and then I looked them up and I decided on the curtains I wanted based off what I thought and what I imagined in my mind that I wanted. So now they're here, and they look beautiful, and I imagined that they would be here. So we start to manifest and we start to create the life we want. We start to imagine it up here. And first, we have to decide what we actually want. Sometimes it's an internal battle, and that's what I've seen in people and in myself. Sometimes you hear people say, like, I don't know what I want, right? We don't know what we want. So it's hard to manifest when you don't know what you want. It's hard to decide on something when you don't know what you want. And I get that. Sometimes it is hard deciding what you want. You have two choices. You look at the pros and cons of each. I had to look at the pros and cons to like the different curtains I was looking at. And that's just how it is. But in order to know what you want, you have to know who you are. When you don't know who you are going to continue to pick the wrong things. And really, when you look at the grand scheme of things, everything is really just a learning lesson. So I went through a period of my life where I didn't know who I was, and I was continuously picking the wrong things. And then I would get down and I would get upset because, the thing didn't pan out the way I thought it would. And there was times like you're going to go on this journey, and this is a self journey. Okay? And your journey might not look like mine. My journey won't look like yours. But for me, I was constantly picking myself back up, and I always had the idea of just, I'm going to keep going, right? I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to learn from that thing. And all the things, when I didn't know myself, all the lessons I learned were all bringing me closer to learning myself. They all brought me closer to learning who I am and what I want. So, all the bad things, all the negative things, all the negative choices and decisions, they all taught me who I am. We have to go through the ugly to get the pretty. We have to go through the darkness to get to the light, right? And so, once you know who you are, then you can start to choose what you want. Because once you know who you are, you have a vision for yourself. You know, okay, this is where I want to go. This is who I want to be. So when you're making decisions and choices, you're able to decide, does this align with who I see myself as? Does this align with who I want to represent myself as? Does this align with who I say I am? Right? Because we say our affirmations, I'm this, I'm that. Is this choice when I'm stuck with two choices? Which choice leads me to the person I say I am and the person I want to show myself to the world? And that's how you start to make choices for yourself and creating the life that you want. Then that's when I can decide, okay, I want pink curtains because I'm in my feminine era, right? If I go with the black curtains, that's also a look, but maybe it's not the look that I want, the look that I'm going for, the look that I enjoy. And with that also comes in being sure of who you are when other people try to tell you. Okay? So let's say for example, my husband, was like, those pink curtains, I don't know, maybe I'll get tired of pink. Maybe you should go with like the neutral, like the beige curtains. Maybe you should go with that because then that can go like when we move, that will go to like the house, it'll combine better, right? And if I am not focused on the vision I have for myself, I might give in to what he says. When you're not focused on who you are and you're not sure, 100% sure of who you are, it's very easy to listen to other people and what they say you should do. Why think you should do this? Why didn't you try that? And many times, I know we look at it as, or people might say it's just a suggestion, or I'm just giving you an idea, or, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But being sure of who you have to be sure in your decisions, and you learn to be. When you're not sure, you're constantly doing what other people tell you to do, and then you're not getting the results you like because you're listening to somebody else. Very rarely will it be like, oh, I'm glad I listened to you. But most times, it ends up being something you didn't even like or you didn't even want. But you listen to that person. I don't know, when you don't know who you are, it's very easy to people please. It's very easy to be swayed. It's very easy to be persuaded. It's very easy to lose yourself in relationships, friendships. You're constantly losing yourself in other people because you don't know who you are. So it's very important to develop yourself and go on that journey to discover who you are. And once you know who you are, nobody can take that power away from you. Okay, that's the best feeling. That's the best feeling. When you know who you are, you see other people try to take that from you and you kind of just laugh inside because it's like, I know who I am. But you, of course, you keep it like copacetic. So you're like, okay. You listen to other people's ideas like, okay. But in your mind, you have that vision and nobody can take you off that vision. So I hope this was a reminder. Ladies, you are goddesses. You are beautiful creatures. You are capable of creating any life you want. It starts in your mind. And then from there, that starts in knowing who you are. When you know who you are, You are in control of your thoughts, and you are in control of creating the thoughts and the vision you have for yourself. And then you can make decisions based off of that in creating the life that you want. And it's okay to change your mind. Life is like trial and error. Life is, it's like school. You're learning. You know, you fall down and you scrape your knee, you get back up. So don't be scared of falling. Don't be scared of making mistakes and learning from them and growing as a person, because you're getting closer to who you are and discovering yourself. Okay? So I love you. I will see you next video, and have a good one.